woken up in my cabin this morning. I'm having some early morning work sessions to try to get a funnel in place somehow in 10 years as an eating psychology coach. Okay. It's awful to say, but I have not created a single complete funnel. And yet I know so much about online business. Like I've done so many courses and podcasts. One complete funnel. That's what I taught myself at the beginning of the year. One complete funnel. The word funnel is just maybe a bit overblown because it's just a sequence of sales pages and products and emails so that people know what I've got. And I have created a really brilliant, robust program, and I know it works because I've taken people through it in live group context, but not enough people know about it. And I've done lots of eating psychology programs. I don't know anything else quite like it. It's like a personal, it's a real deep dive into food psychology. It's at a kind of study level that really suits people who love to dig in and learn and who really want to get a good grounding, who like to read or listen. I have people following it who are academics, who are health professionals, who work in psychiatry. I've had people follow it who are themselves becoming food psychology coaches, and I've had people following it who are just really rebuilding their relationship with themselves and with food from the bottom upwards, and using food, are willing to open up to the process of overcoming binge eating as a method for really getting to grips with their personal transformation. Often they are women, although binge eating disorder affects men. Around 30% of people who suffer with binge eating disorder are men. They don't necessarily find you at this moment, but some do. And they're welcome, because some of the societal factors that we assume only affect women, body image stuff. The fitness industry is also really visually marketing a very athletic body to men. So people need help around binging, around stopping yo-yo dieting. I had somebody on a forum yesterday say that she thought that yo-yo dieting should be classified as a eating disorder, and what a great insight. That's really stayed with me. But why have I stopped? Why haven't I created a complete business process like this? I created a podcast. There were times when I was using LinkedIn every day. Oh, sunrise. You probably can't really see it, and doesn't normally show up really very well. Sunrise at the Well, I just want to capture this narrative from my mind whilst I'm thinking about it, and whilst it sounds to me like a narrative which is optimistic enough to take me forward and sort of gives a little sense to my midlife crisis and my massive menopausal reevaluation of what I'm doing. A few years ago, I was following some coaches very much from the same school. They were often life coaches, and I was part of Brooke Cassier's program, which was called Self-Coaching Scholars, but Kirsty calling called Get Coach. I had some really great coaching over a couple of years on that school. The calibre of the coaching I would use was always spot on. And I was really enjoying Stacey Damon's business coaching, enjoying the simplicity of her idea to meet people and tell them you're a life coach and fill your calendar with one-to-ones, because that's the most successful way to make a start. And I was doing really well with that idea, and I came to all of that via Corinne Crabtree, who's a really brilliant weight loss coach, and really unashamedly talks about weight loss openly. I mean, when I say that, like many people in the eating psychology field find weight a really difficult topic to talk about, because selling weight loss up front is so counter to what's actually helpful for the client, because what they really need to do is focus on other elements, health, well-being, and their thoughts and emotions. And weight is a result. It's not something you do. What you do is health behaviours. Yeah. So but she's, what's amazing about Corinne is she's very ballsy and straight talking and American, Texan, and she's a really strong voice. So I was following these coaches and very much immersed in that world, and that coaching method works beautifully with the cognitive behavioural aspects of my business, of my coaching, my therapeutic practice, and my inspirations in the world of food psychology, like food effect. But at a certain point, some of that work felt like it was, really focused on making money for the sake of making money, and some of those coaches have themselves become super rich, and that was not in itself a problem, but I didn't see them talking about using that money energy for the greater good of the world. And at the same time, I had a sort of climate awakening. I think I went to Buddha Field Festival several times in a row, and every time I went there, I woke up about the environment and about the planet, and I felt like there was something deeper to experience in coaching than the cognitive world as well, something spiritual and existential for me to discover. And I came back feeling really, really worried whether trying to make a coaching business for myself was really having the impact on the world that I should be having. Really, I think I started to feel like I should save the world. And I am very worried about the environment, and I am very worried about my rights and politics. And I'm very worried about women and minorities and the changing status of hard-won freedoms. I'm worried about my girls growing up in this world, and I'm feeling suddenly very guilty that I have taken a very liberal position of pushing back and letting, I sort of hoping that somebody else does it. would take action on climate, and that's their world that I'm giving them because I haven't really done anything other than my own recycling, other than my own little goodness in the world. And I started to work more in person, in workshops, women's circles, and have found so much heart and inspiration, and my theatre self came back and really wanted to be in the room with people and be laughing and crying in real life, not necessarily on Zoom and the whole kind of social media. Fear felt very a bit thin for the first time, and that's not how I had experienced coaching on Zoom, because coaching on Zoom has been, a miracle, and is a miracle, really. Right from the get-go, when I started coaching in Berlin, I was using Zoom because people were finding me through my articles on Tiny Buddha website, and they were often in the States or elsewhere, and that, and having this portal, this window that we could talk to each other through, has been absolutely amazing, bonkers, really, to reach out and connect with another human through this digital thing. But posting on social media every day felt like I was stuck in some sort of treadmill. I was trying to play a game that felt like a waste of time. It wasn't a waste of time. In fact, in many ways, being on LinkedIn connected me to other professionals. So I didn't feel like a competitor in the coaching market anymore. I suddenly felt like a movement of people trying to create change around eating disorders, and that is really significant. Anyway, where have I got to now? Perimenopause has not turned quite into menopause. Twice. I've gone 11 months without a period, and then because 12 months is like, the official menopause moment. Like, I don't know if you knew that, but I didn't know that maybe 10 years ago. But twice I've gone 11 months, and then ding, my body just says, "Oh, not quite yet." The perimenopause is a long journey. It has sleeplessness, sometimes it's hot flushes. It has some low moments. Your estrogen, if you look on a graph, is literally doing it. Boing, 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 boing. And sometimes you can really feel the lows of hormones. Um, and so, there's been depressing moments. And I haven't really mentioned war and world peace, but I should, because it's an important part of the story, because when I was a child, I used to really, really passionately concerned about war. Like, I would really go scared every night and pray, even though I wasn't religious, just because that was exciting. That we would not be caught up in war, or that I would not have to live through war happening to me, that my house wasn't dissolved from nuclear fallout. There was a hymn in our school assembly. Last night I had this crazy thing. Will ever be before? Maybe my baby will keep people into war. And this frightened me, and because like so desperate, because I actually really, it's so obvious to me that war, that there were no winners in war, that it was just that I had crossed the line. And recently I found a beautiful place to be spiritual, which is a little Quaker meeting house in a village nearby called Comforted, and it's a little fast cottage. It's very, very ancient, and the Quakers are interesting people. They sit in silence together, so it was not a big jump from that to from the kind of Buddhism is my upbringing. Um, but and they have they have a social conscience tradition and pacifism tradition which fascinates me. Although they just never teach anything, so you don't necessarily hear about it or talk about it in the context of those meetings. So that it feels like there's a set to things that together can contribute to that. But a source of retraining in international relations or mediation or conflict resolution or facilitation. I'm not wholly sure how to contribute to any of these things. I don't know how to do it. And I don't, and it's sort of savage because menopause kind of takes away your vim and your drive, and you're like, yeah, just gonna do it. Feeling. And so after 22 years in this sort of super confusion and um, existential crisis, I suddenly feel like I have to wait. And if there is something for me to do for the world, it will have to show me because I don't know where to yet. But I noticed that when I run in-person workshops on food psychology, that I can see an immediate impact on sharing what I know with people. And, and I can see that I have some amazing, some really valuable tools for being used. And that's one pain. I know how to solve. And I can see that I have two girls here and trying to grow them up with self-worth so that they don't race off their life trying to get validation from other people and resolve their attachment issues and search for confidence and self-help psychological processes and heal their self-worth issues. If I could give them a better start, then that is also a contribution to the future of the world. So that's a really long way round to come back to trying to do what I was doing, but maybe trying to do it from a slightly different way. And I'm really excited to see how Soul is taking ideas from Sam Garcia's regenerative business, thinking about ecological business rather than transactional business and trying to find a way to work and to give my gift, which is non-striving and generous and sort of released from the pressure of capitalist transactionality. I need clients to validate me so that I can be a success and make money. And I've got to market myself and all that pressure. And I'm trying to create my business from a slightly different paradigm. Oh my gosh. When I say it like that, it sounds so highfalutin. Trying to start my business without trying to be hard, without struggling, and without really focusing on it as being a business, but really trying to focus on giving my gift a gift. And I think that's something that I would want to do whether or not I made money because uh, holding on to it feels great. Festering and also not being in. I spent a lot of time gathering. So yeah, I've had the value of things learning, and now I need to help people who need this learning to have it too. So I better write that down.